Michael Schwartz from Valley of the Suns here today with Mike Schmitz, actually. So now this is living proof that we are two different people. I'm not sure if we've ever gotten that proof before. We've had podcasts, but now this is the real deal. Schmitz is here tonight, but we're not going to have any duo Valley of the Suns coverage anymore because tonight the Suns lost 121-96 to the New York Knicks. First time since '03 that the Knicks came into the Valley and won. I mean, just a really ugly game. That's now the Suns have lost 3 in a row, 7 of 9, 11 of 14. Everything is just completely falling apart. The Knicks hit 17 threes, a season high for an opponent for the Suns. And basically, the Knicks played a superb game, and the Suns are pretty awful.
Yeah, I thought they were pretty much dominated across the board, offensively, defensively, on the boards. They were absolutely killed. Shot 6 of 24 from 3, while the Knicks shot 50%, 17 from 34. I mean, Amari Stoudemire in town, ESPN in town, stage getting big, a chance for the Suns to rebound a little bit, and they just come up empty.
The Suns have now, in 4 straight games, they haven't even hit the 100-point mark, right, which is just unfathomable to me when you think about it. You're kind of our breakdown guy. What is so wrong with this Suns offense right now?
The spacing is bad, and there's no one to go to. It's just swinging the ball around the perimeter and hoping someone's going to make a play. And that's not really a way to play offense. They settle for jump shots all the time. They don't have Amari who can finish down low for them anymore, and it's really showing.
And they don't even have the Jay Rich.
Yeah, I mean, Vince Carter hasn't been able to be Jay Rich, and they just miss Amari, and they miss having guys like Jay Rich. I think Hakeem Warwick offered a little bit of relief in that regard, but he can't play consistent minutes. This offense is just really bad. You used to always think that, you know, they could go on a run when another team hits 3 or 4 threes. They're going to fight right back. But this team doesn't have that. Being in the locker room after the game, no one even had any answers. You asked Grant Hill what's wrong. He said he's been racking his brain for weeks, months, trying to figure it out. No one can figure it out. It's just an ugly stretch of basketball, and the league's best offense is really just disappearing.
The Suns seem to be just trying anything. Today they went with the strangest starting lineup I've ever seen. Josh Childress, who doesn't even play anymore, was their starting center. He jumped center. They went with Grant Hill on Amari to start, and Amari torched him pretty well, just shot over him pretty much whenever he wanted. Just seems grasping at straws. Last year you had such a set rotation. Everybody knew their roles. Right. And this year nobody knows when they're going to be playing, who they're going to be playing with.
Yeah, I think it's just a mess. I mean, they thought that they'd be able to get all these guys and just make it work. They say you play with Steve Nash, things are going to work.
Because they always have.
They always have. But the constant also that's been there with Steve Nash is Amari Stoudemire. And I think people are really noticing and realizing.
Except for 05-06, technically, when he was out with the injury. But
that's true. That's true.
They were still able to mesh without him. But
and Nash was 5 years younger, 4 years younger.
Nash was playing at an MVP level.
Right. So I don't know. Everyone.
And you had Sean Marion, and you had
a lot of guys that were able to contribute.
Boris Diaw stepping in, but
it's just we're seeing the mid-level players and just all of the role players coming together. No one wants to take the big shot. No one wants to step up. When Vince Carter's your go-to guy, that's kind of shaky.
On the other side, Raymond Felton, first career NBA triple-double. He had some in high school, but not since then. But really the story tonight, aside from the Suns' ineptitude, was Amari Stoudemire. Amari did what he does. He went for 23 points, 9 rebounds, 9 of 18 shooting. Just a typical Amari line that we've seen so many times. He had a couple fancy dunks, but got it done in the perimeter, especially against Grant Hill. The fan reaction, I talked to a lot of fans, and then seeing the ovation, it was really all positive. This was not a LeBron situation at all. Everyone was loving on Amari. It was almost stunning to see. To me, it was, when you think back to how this rivalry's gone. Last year, when the Knicks came to US Airways Center, they just got destroyed. It was the exact same thing in reverse. And for the Suns to be that inept, and then Amari's team to just come in and do what the Suns did, have Amari space the floor, hit a lot of threes, it was really startling to me.
Yeah, they've really taken D'Antoni's offense and system and become almost the Suns of the East. Someone said that to Stoudemire in the shoot-around this morning, and he right away just corrected him and said, we're not the Suns of the East, we're the New York Knicks, and then went on to say, we actually play defense, which is kind of, a nice jab. Coming from Amari, you kind of expect it.
I don't know how much defense Amari's playing when you look at his plus-minus numbers.
They give up 106 points a game. I don't think they're playing that much defense. No. But, hey, they held the Suns tonight to 91 points. but I think that was more of the Suns doing. But yeah, positive reception for Amari. Gentry expected it, said there's no bad blood at all, maybe between management, but not with players, coaches, fans. So it was good to see, I thought.
Yeah, it was good to see. Although, I don't know, Amari's been almost a little too smug for my taste with all this stuff. It almost doesn't seem as happy of a divorce. And now you look at where the Suns are today. I mean, they're a mess right now. They're 6 games under 500. The season's spiraling out of control. I thought the trade was going to kind of revitalize things. Instead, things have gone the opposite way. At least before, they were a 500 team before the trade. Now, who knows what's going to happen. No need to get into Nash rumors right now. I'm sure that'll be a popular subject. I sure know it is on Daily Dime live chats.
Right.
It's all that Suns game conversation turns to. Where's Nash going? What do you think of this? But just to see where Amari is and where the Suns are, do you think so much of it was not re-signing him, or is there more to it?
I think
quite a bit more to it. Obviously, it's some extent.
Yeah. There's been a lot of change. They've gone through a lot of things, bringing in so many different players. The Hedo Turkoglu experiment, Jason Richardson gone, all those things.
A noble experiment. Right?
Oh, one of the best. But I think ultimately it comes down to Stoudemire's departure. He did so much. You can look at his plus-minus numbers. I know you like the advanced stats. All that stuff, Schwartz, and that's good. But at the end of the day, he's arguably the best offensive power forward in the game. He attracts so much attention, does so much on the court, and then brings that personality to the locker room, brings that personality to the city. And the Suns don't have that. They don't have anyone near a superstar. People are scared to step up. Yeah, but he's not a commanding type of guy. You know what I mean? Right. So, yeah, they miss him, and it's showing. Clearly.
Yeah, and I've been most impressed with Stoudemire's leadership and how he's kind of been captivated by New York. And he's always wanted to be that guy, the D-Wade, LeBron, Dwight of the world. He's always wanted that. He's finally in a situation where he can do that. Yeah, looking at some of those advanced numbers, he's really not doing anything different than he was in Phoenix. Although, again, I would say the second half of the year he was a top 5 player.
Right. Gentry's agreed with that. I mean, he said he's doing it's the same exact thing, same offense, same things that he's doing, but he has the right system. He's the guy, and it's more the attitude with him than ever. That's always been the issue.
He brings the swagger. The Knicks are terrible defensively when he's out there. He still doesn't rebound. He's less efficient with higher usage this year. But I guess you take all of that, you see the overall package that he brings to a team, and absolutely the Suns just don't have that guy. Now, this is almost getting beyond the scope. Amari will make you a good regular season team, but we almost saw last year in the Lakers series, all the Suns fans are ready to say, okay, that's not the guy we want leading us for the next generation.
Right.
Do you still agree with that, or do we say when you're 14 and 20 as the Suns are now, when you're struggling to score the basketball for the first time in 6 years, you can easily say, oh my God, I miss Amari. But the bigger picture was you didn't want him being the guy, your superstar that you're going to go with through thick and thin for the next 5 years. I think we were fairly much in agreement. You didn't want that.
Yeah.
And we all knew you'd want him now. There's no question. No one was debating that. If he could have signed for 3 years, everyone would have loved it.
Yep.
But you just didn't want him being that guy. Now the Suns don't have any superstar, and they're in trouble, but at least they don't have a guy if you don't think he's going to be your guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand that. I think part of it, though, is now he is the number one guy ultimately. It's going to fall on his shoulders, and he likes to rise to a challenge like that. When he was here against the Lakers, I don't think he fully felt like he was their number one option, so he would disappear at times. And I think if he is the guy and the spotlight's on him, it's a lot harder to hide and to disappear and do things of that nature.
I don't know. I still think he's the same guy he was in Phoenix. He's doing the same things. I still think the Knicks are going to struggle to go deep in the playoffs unless they do get another number one type of guy. I'm not so sure Carmelo is that kind of player. I mean, he's gotten to the conference finals once, and that's it. I'm not so sure that pairing is going to do any more than make them a great offensive team, win a ton of games, but ultimately lose in the conference semifinals, maybe conference finals once in a while. I'm convinced that he's still the same Amari. It's going to be the same issues, and I think that the Knicks fans will, kind of see that eventually once being a good, fun offensive team that's going to get at least into the playoffs, maybe win a round, isn't good enough. And that's not sour grapes really on Amari. I know it comes off as that, but it's just we've kind of seen through 8 years, Suns fans have seen what this guy is. He's a superb offensive player.
Right.
I agree with you that he's probably the most skilled offensive power forward in all of basketball,
Right.
and he's a guy that the Suns desperately need right now.
Yeah.
Since, as Steve Nash said the other day, hey, they don't have a power forward. When you don't have
No
a power
real
forward and you just lost the best offensive power forward in basketball, that's going to make a hell of a difference. But it's like I still don't think Amari's that. He's just what he always was. He's a great offensive player. He's going to score a lot of points. The offense will be fun. He's going to have his crazy jams, but ultimately, he's not a guy who leads you to championships.
Yeah, I think at this point, this team would take anything.
Well, yeah, at this point, you'd be
but,
right. This team with Amari Stoudemire is in the middle of the Western Conference playoff pack. It's just we were thinking then when the Suns were in the conference finals. Next level championship.
About,
now the Suns are way back a few steps, and it's going to take a while to get there. But I don't know. It's going to take till this story won't be written until another 4 or 5 years, I think. Once we see, does he get hurt? Does he become much more ineffective? There was a great story in the New York Times today by Howard Beck, basically saying, "Hey, some doctors don't know if his surgery is going to last 3 more years." So, and before all those variables become known, it's hard to speculate. All we know now is that the Phoenix Suns are really struggling. The New York Knicks are soaring, and a big reason for that is Amari Stoudemire. Schmitz, great to have you here at the game.
Fun to be here.
For Mike Schmitz, I'm Michael Schwartz, and we'll do this again soon.